Tonight's play is called A Shepherd's Tale, and this is a shepherd, and he's very old, and he's very sleepy, and so we're going to need to wake him up shortly. But this play is about this shepherd's memories of being where Jesus was born that very night in a distant land called Israel, in Bethlehem, Israel. And he was there, and he's going to remember some fascinating parts of that beautiful evening. But first we have to wake him up, because he's really sleepy. So we're going to start with a Christmas carol, and all the carols are in your programs, and we welcome you all to sing with all the carols. And enjoy tonight's program.
It looks like he's sleeping, doesn't it? Yes, but he has a great smile on his face. I wonder why.
I know. It's almost as if there's a great light all around him.
Yet, he's sitting there all alone.
Grandmother said we need to wake him to get ready to go to the old cave where Jesus was born. The whole town will be there. Grandfather?
Oh, hello, girls. I was just having the most beautiful dream. Would you like me to tell you about it?
Oh, yes, please do.
God is truth, God is love, Father, Mother, both are one. When our hearts cry out in pain, Mother, bring us peace again. Every mother brings to birth hints of thy love for all the
Oh, often in my dreams I go to that holy night when that baby was born.
You mean Jesus, Grandfather?
Yes, dear, Jesus, who became a teacher of a love so great it takes your breath away.
Please tell us what happened that night, Grandfather.
Well, your grandmother's probably waiting for us, but a few minutes can't hurt. Let's see, it was so long ago, but on this night when we celebrate his birth, I can see it so clearly. I can feel that same love. I think that even the angels come to celebrate with us on this night. Can you feel it? Right here, all around us, they're with us.
And tell us about Jesus, Grandfather, and the beautiful angels.
Oh, the angels, yes. So many years ago, the stars were bright in the sky. Your Uncle Ezra and I were up in the hills above the village. Yes, the flock of sheep were sleeping. We were laying in the grass looking up at the stars. My thoughts were as still as the night. And that's when the angels came. They appeared in the sky. They were so lovely and bright. And then they came close, and you could feel their calmness and their love. Yes, but they were excited about something. And then you know what they did next? They pointed to the east, to the old Sheperds' cave. And we looked, and it seemed to glow with a golden light from inside, and there seemed to be a star above it. We looked at that, we looked back at the angels, and then they motioned for us to follow them. Ezra and I started to run. We were following the angels, and they were flying through the air. We were only looking at them, and we fell into a small ditch. We shook ourselves, and we got up. We thought we were going to lose the angels now, but when we got out of the ditch, there they were, waiting for us. And we kept following these wonderful angels.
And then what happened? Is that when the kings arrived?
Oh, the kings, yes. We ran and followed the angels until we came to the road, and there they were, the three kings. They looked so wise and wonderful. They were wearing silk and velvet, red and blue and purple and gold. They looked like they were waiting for us. They looked like they knew what was going to happen. Ezra and I didn't know what was going to happen. We just looked at the kings like this. And you know what they did next? The three kings bowed to us. Kings, rich kings, bowed to Ezra and I, poor shepherds. We didn't know what to do or what to say.
Field and fountain, moor and mountain, following yonder star. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light. Born a king, Bethlehem slain, gold thy reign to crown him again. Reign forever, ceasing never, over us all to fame. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy birth. silence owns a deity nigh. Prayer and praising, all men raising, worship him, God on high. Oh, star of wonder, star of night, star with royal beauty bright, westward leading, still proceeding, guide us to thy perfect light.
Oh, yes, the story. I can see it so clearly. That's when the three kings, they were pointing at the star in the east. It was right over the cave. And so we didn't talk to each other. We just followed. We followed. We followed. When we got to the cave, the angels were standing there, and they motioned for us to come in. Well, the three kings, of course, went first. And Ezra and I followed. We were trying to see what was in the cave. The kings were so big. I saw a man, a woman, and a little baby laying on a blanket in the straw. The kings, in pure silence, took their gifts and knelt in the straw by the baby. And then they put their gifts, frankincense, gold, and myrrh, next to the baby. And then they raised their hands like this, and they seemed to be blessing the baby and welcoming him back to the earth.
The Christ child asleep, the silence is so deep that round about with hope in their eyes. The animals await, their breathing they abate. They know their time has come to arise. For Jesus came on earth to offer second birth to all who would
The freedom we would know, Christ offered long ago, and even from his slumber flows peace. All creatures here on earth, alive to their own worth, can welcome love and win their release. The Christ child's asleep, the silence is so deep, that round about with hope in their eyes, the animals await, their breathing they abate, they know their time has come to arise.
I wish you could have seen it. It was so beautiful. The angels, the wise men, the baby Jesus. I wish you could have seen it. Well, there I was in the cave. Ezra and I didn't know who the baby was. We still didn't know it was a baby Jesus. And there they were, the wise men. Why were they honoring and blessing this little baby? Ezra and I didn't know. Usually I'm a shy person. But that night, when the wise men stood up and stepped back, I waited a moment. And then I went right up to the baby, and I knelt down in the hay right next to him. And I sat there very still, and you know what I felt? I felt this love in my heart. Just a big feeling of love. At first I thought the baby, who was sleeping, was giving me that love. But when I sat there very quietly, I realized, no, the love was in me all the time. Maybe he was helping to awaken that love. And then he opened his eyes and he looked at me. He looked at me like we were old friends, and he looked at me like he was happy to see me. My heart became open that night. And that divine love has never left me. It just keeps growing. And it's not just me. When Jesus grew up, he showed so many people how to find that place of love inside. He used to say, "The kingdom of heaven is within." I know you girls will find that place of divine love someday. Perhaps even tonight.
Samuel? Samuel?
Oh,
Ruth?
Grandmother.
Hannah? Oh, there you are. I sent you to get your grandfather an hour ago. Come. It's time to go to the cave and the celebration of light.
Yes. I wish you could have seen it. It was so beautiful.
Thank you all for coming tonight. We're going to close the program with Silent Night, just taking the beauty of this program into your heart and sharing it with all whom you love and all that are near you. Thank you so much.